So good evening and welcome to our meeting for Tuesday, December 5th. If you are able to stand, if you could please, for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Grigsby. Here. Mrs. McCarthy.
Here.
Mrs. Saxon.
Here.
Mrs. Tamira.
Here.
Mr. Vaca.
Here. Finalization of the agenda. Is there anything to add or remove?
The agenda is final as presented.
Awesome, thank you. We'll move right into the superintendent's report.
Excellent. Well, we have several students with us today and 2 staff members that we are excited to recognize, and these would be our November Students of the Month. And I would like to call to the podium Andrea Vance, who is here to share with us the Students of the Month from ECLC.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hopefully my husband knows not to call me and ask me where the stuff for the grilled cheese is tonight. I don't know that was that important, but I'm excited tonight to have the pleasure of introducing my Students of the Month. I am actually going to start with my preschool student, but I'm going to have both students come up. So if you guys want to come up first. I'm going to have you guys stand right here so everybody can see you. So we're going to start with Juliet. Juliet, can you just wave your hand so everybody knows who you are? Perfect. Juliet is in preschool and she is in Mrs. Burke's class, who's here tonight. Mrs. Burke says that Juliet is a wonderful student and a great friend. She is always willing to help her teachers and is a kind friend to all of her peers. She is sweet and caring and about others and their feelings. Juliet is a very bright student who loves school and learning. She always follows the classroom rules and expectations. Congratulations to Juliet. Next we have Nora Carver. Nora, can you give a nice wave? Maybe? Okay, there we go. Nora is in kindergarten and she's in Mrs. Ponting's class. And Mrs. Ponting says that Nora is a wonderful kindergarten student in her classroom this year. She always comes into school with a smile on her face and is ready for the day. She is very friendly and helpful to all the teachers and peers and is very easygoing no matter what the busy day entails. She receives numerous Andy Paul stickers and on her weekly chart and is always receiving dojo points for great behavior. She does great in all her academic areas and she does a phenomenal job as the classroom star student. She loves to talk and write about her family. I love to talk too. Mrs. Ponting says she can't wait to spend the rest of the year with her and that Nora is a wonderful role model. So congratulations to Nora. And I'd like to introduce Mrs. Amanda Zapotecki from Liberty.
And while Mrs. E is making her way to the podium, students, if you could wait until our high school students are recognized, we're going to take a group photo here in front of the Rangers backdrop so we can capture that for our social media pages. Susie?
Okay, our first grade student of the month is Ronan Sloan. I don't think I saw Ronan here this evening. If he is here, come on up. I don't think I see him. Okay, Ronan is in first grade in Mrs. Pupper's class, and Mrs. Pupper nominated Ronan because he is an extremely grateful student and is always Ranger strong. He comes to school every day with a smile on his face and goes out of his way to help his peers and teachers do anything we need. Way to go, Ronan. Keep working hard and keep being you. Congratulations to Ronan. And our second grade student of the month is Madison Smith. Madison? All right. Madison is in second grade in Mrs. Gallagher's class, and Mrs. Gallagher nominated Madison because she is an excellent example of what it means to be Ranger Strong. She is a great role model for her classmates and is a huge helper in our classroom. She is always working hard and trying her best each and every day. Keep up the great work, Madison. We're very proud of you. And I would like to invite up Mr. Sullivan to announce the NRAC Student of the Month.
Good evening, everyone. How are you today? I'm excited that you're here, and I'm excited to announce we have 4 students of the month that I'd like to announce. Our first student of the month, Calvin Walshin. Please come up. I'll read a few words from his studio teachers. Calvin is a polite, hardworking, conscientious student. He tries his best at all times, participates in class, and is a model student for his peers. We are so proud of Calvin. Calvin, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Our next student of the month is Marissa Ugusini. A few words from her studio teachers. Marissa is an asset to the 6 Orange studio. She is respectful to her peers and teachers. In addition to being respectful, Marissa is a diligent student and always does what she needs in order to be successful.
What?
Congratulations again, Marissa. Our next student of the month is Sophia Holmes. A few words from Sophia's studio teachers. If we could duplicate Sophia, we would. How could we? What a great start. Sophia excels in all areas. She is respectful, she's responsible, caring, and determined with everything she does. Continue to do great things. You will be so successful in life with how much you care and the effort you put into everything you do. Congratulations again. And our last student of the month is Josh Perjaya. And a few words about Josh. Josh is a great example of the Ranger Strong attributes of goals and respect, as Josh has done a tremendous job of displaying a growth mindset. He is faced with challenges in the classroom. He is utilizing his coping skills during times of frustration and communicating when he needs a break.
Today.
He is actively working to meet his goals within the classroom, and he takes ownership of his schoolwork. Great job, Joshua.
Good job.
Good evening. Thank you for having us today. I'd like to introduce two of our wonderful students at Ranger High Tech Academy. Our first student of the month is Leilani Blackman. She was nominated by Coach Kidwell, her third grade teacher, for having great teamwork. And this is what Coach Kidwell said about Leilani. Leilani is a collaborative and inclusive learner. She shows respect and care to her classmates and coaches during group discussions. While working in groups, Leilani encourages and celebrates her teammates' ideas. She goes out of her way to make sure that others feel welcomed and accepted. Leilani is a shining example of what it means to have Ranger strong behavior. All right, our next learner of the month is Griffin Stipa. And Griffin was nominated by Coach Muck, who is our Spanish teacher at Ranger High Tech Academy. Now, I always get to recognize our learners for the amazing things that they do, but Griffin has really gone above and beyond. This last month, Griffin, he decided, because Coach Muck was out unexpectedly, that he was going to make sure that the Spanish 1 classes continue to run the way they should run, and that learning continued to happen even when there was a substitute in the room. So this is what Coach Muck said about Griffin. Griffin is the example of what Ranger high-tech learners should be. He used his resources and helped teach Spanish classes while I was out. He not only taught his classes, but he taught other classes as well. He was able to motivate other learners. He got 100% engagement, which is really hard to do if you've ever been an educator, and taught new material by using his resources. I am so proud of him and grateful to be his coach. So Griffin actually went into their resources that they do every day. He got the agenda on the board, he taught the concepts, he got other kids to come up and teach with him. Like, he truly led their classes so they did not fall behind at all when there was a substitute teacher in the room. And I also wanted to point out that Griffin has taken on a lot of leadership roles at our school as well. And this year he ran our Holiday on the Ridge ornament making workshop, and he facilitated making sure that ran smoothly and that all of the equipment was running and that all of our volunteers, our other learners, knew what to do. So Griffin has always engaged and wanted to go above and beyond in his learning, but at this point you're really taking on some leadership roles. I'm very proud of you. Thank you, Griffin. Like to introduce Mr. Mueller from high school, who will be announcing the high school learners.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Season's greetings to everybody here. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, however you celebrate it. I'd also like to extend my congratulations not only to the Board of Education, but to the community for their efforts to stand up and provide the kind of facilities that all students in this district deserve, so that they can show the awesome talents and skills that we know they have as they move forward in their journey in life. As in every month, I have the great honor to nominate and recognize a couple of outstanding students at North Ridgeville High School. Because their time is short, we do seniors of the month. But our juniors, they'll be on next year. Tonight, we will discuss two. We got the other one? Sorry. Yeah. Not that one. That one. We have two. Our first student of the month is Jamie McElwain, a member of the class of 2024. Jamie is an outstanding student, athlete, and member of her class. One of the reasons we nominated Jamie is because she has been identified as the sole student in the class of 2024 at North Ridgeville High School who qualified for identification in the National Merit Scholarship Program. Jamie has been identified as a commended scholar for the class of 2024, which means out of 1.5 million American high school juniors who took the PSAT in the fall of 2023, Jamie scored in the top 3%. She will not be identified as a semifinalist, but her status as a commended scholar is one of the highest recognitions that an American high school student can achieve in their time. In addition to that, Jamie is also a member of our varsity soccer program. And she, the last time I saw her on the soccer field was soaking wet in a driving rainstorm in Ranger Stadium, cheering on her team in the OHSAA sectional soccer tournament. Jamie was unable to be with us tonight, and she did not reveal her future plans to our office. So congratulations to Jamie. Outstanding. Our next senior of the month is this young man standing to my right. His name is Aiden Wood, member of the class of 2024. I didn't really know Aiden last year, other than being like a tall kid and not real coordinated, but he made his way around. And I got to know him better this year for a number of reasons that I will share with everybody right now. The most obvious thing is he walked around school carrying a stuffed elephant. He was also a member of our men's soccer program. Aiden was the goalie of our soccer team. I should mention that it was the undefeated Southwest Conference champion men's soccer team who reached the district final, which is one step from the Sweet 16 out of 600 plus Division I soccer programs in the state. Additionally, Aiden was named the goalie of the year in the Southwest Conference men's soccer. And as cool as that is, on Fridays and every day in the fall term, Aiden is a member of the Ranger Marching Band. And I said to him, yeah, what was your instrument? He goes, any saxophone, and I'm learning the bassoon. Also very cool, he'd be out there on Friday nights marching with our marching Rangers. Aiden is also a member of our broadcast journalism program. And he is the face, and I'm going to explain something about the voice of Ranger TV. Aiden showed so much courage this year to step up and volunteer to replace the legendary voice of Ranger TV, Louis Tamura, another senior who accepted an undercover assignment this year. So Aiden has stepped up without fail. He provides Ranger Nation daily with the information that they need to plan their busy lives. Aiden, at this moment, has taken a break from box casting. I think I know what that is. Tonight's home opening basketball game. So, were you gonna tell them what the elephant meant?
Yes. So the elephant was a symbol that we have to take everything, whether it's practice, game, even film, one step at a time. Because the motto behind it was, how do you eat an elephant? And it was one bite at a time. So again, one practice, one game, one anything, one step at a time, which helped us lead to a, I don't want to say pretty successful, but a very successful regular season and our playoff run. So it was a great reminder.
So I present Aiden Wood. I've been also instructed to, at this time, ask all of our students of the month to come forward up here to take a picture. Removing this.
Thanks, All right, guys, gather in. All right. You come in the center of here. Sorry, Josh, I'm not sure. You. All right, ready, guys? Here we go. 1, 2, cheese. Looking great. Awesome. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
In addition to our incredible students that we have here in North Ridgeville, in order to continue to help them grow and learn, we have some pretty outstanding staff members too. And tonight, Mr. Fritt is here to share with us 2 outstanding staff members for the month of November.
Why, thank you, Superintendent Casaria. So it is my pleasure to recognize a couple of our staff members. So each month we recognize a certified and a classified staff member for this recognition. And I think what's important to me is recognizing these are 2 individuals out of roughly 700 employees in the district. And over the course of any given school year, we're going to recognize about 20 of them. So it is quite an accomplishment to be standing up here this evening with these individuals and appreciate what they do every day, because it's really what makes the district run as well as it does. So with that said, I'm going to ask our first student, our first employee of the month to come up, and that's going to be Mr. Sean Cable. So a little bit of background on Mr. Cadle. Mr. Cadle is actually a North Ridgeville graduate. He's a proud Ranger and has decided to come home to teach with us here at the Academic Center. So Mr. Cadle was hired as a building substitute at the Academic Center in January of 2021. And that position went so well and made himself part of a building that we just couldn't let him go. So last May 2022, we offered him a position, and he is currently teaching 6th grade science with us. So because being a first-year teacher, there's not enough involved in that. He also decided in September of 2022 to become the 8th grade men's basketball coach. He's currently coaching the 7th grade team with us. So prior to joining NRCS, Mr. Cadle worked as a quality engineer at Camaco Lorraine Manufacturing while pursuing his education license at Ashland University. Mr. Cadle was nominated by a parent, and this is a summary of what was said about him. So, my daughter faced significant challenges at the beginning of the school year, experiencing nervousness and anxiety. Mr. Cadle, serving as her homeroom and science teacher, played a pivotal role in helping her overcome her fears. He created a positive and enjoyable learning environment, challenging her with engaging activities and participating in events like Spirit Day by donning a waist-length wig. Mr. Cadle's unique teaching style, which combines fun and learning, extends to all students. While I initially believed Mr. Cadle did something special for my child, it is evident from his compassionate and dedicated nature. It is a consistent trait, making him a truly special person whom we deeply appreciate. So congratulations, Sean, and we're glad to have you with us. Our second staff member of the month is Mr. Curtis Moss. In recognition of his outstanding dedication and commitment, and at the recommendation of a fellow staff member this time, Mr. Curtis Moss has been named a staff member of the month for the month of November. Joining the Academic Center as a custodian on August 26, 2019, Mr. Moss brought with him valuable experience from his roles as a cleaner custodian at Consolation Schools in Lorraine and as an auction technician at Fast Track Auction Sales. Mr. Moss's nominator said, Curtis's exceptional contribution to the school community is evident in his selfless willingness to sacrifice his free time, often on nights and weekends, and sometimes with minimal notice, to ensure the smooth facilitation of after-school events. His unwavering commitment makes him truly deserving of this month's Staff Member of the Month award. With that, I have this for you.
Thanks, sir.
Now we'll wrap up the staff member portion. If I could have both Sean and Curtis back up here for a quick photo. I am sorry it is with me and not others, but we'll do what we can.
Picture tie, David.
It's nice to have a group look out for you.
1, 2. Awesome, thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, before we move into
So we do have 2 more quick presentations. The next one being by Mrs. Vance, who's going to give us a federal funding update. Parents, now is a good time to sneak out if you don't.
Oh, that was a great introduction. Oh, gosh.
We told you.
Yes, yes. Good evening, everybody. I'm the Director of Student Services with North Ridgeville City Schools. And it is required and obligatory for us to do from the state of Ohio, a presentation on federal funding that we receive from the state of Ohio. So we're going to get the presentation loaded and I'm going to just wait patiently. I'm definitely not the big attraction. All righty, there it is. All righty, so you can go to the next slide. So we need to cover all of our federal funding. We get Title I, Title IIA, Title IV, and IDA Part B funds. So I'm just going to give you a brief summary. It is, this information will be shared and posted on our website for anybody that wants to see it. So we can go ahead and go to the next slide. So our Title I money is based upon the number of students on free and reduced lunch. The money is to be used to improve basic programming. Money must be used at a school that has a free and reduced population within 5% of the building within the largest free and reduced percentage. And we cannot use the money to pay for things that the general fund is used to pay for. So things purchased must be in addition to what we have always offered. So for the 23-24 allocation, we have $337,515.41. It is a slight decrease from the 22-23 school year, but when I say it is a decrease, it is very slight. Nearly all was used on the salary and benefits for Title I teachers at Liberty. Title IIA, which is supporting effective instruction. The amount of money we get is determined by the state and is based on a percentage that they must give each local district. This money is to be used to support effective instruction through professional development by paying for consultants, workshops, sub-costs, and supplies that are needed for the training to take place. We cannot use this money to pay for things that the general fund is used to pay for, very similar to the first one. That allocation for the 23-24 school year is $80,911.07. All funds were used for salaries and professional development, and also supporting some of those funds to our non-publics. The next is IDEA Part B, Special Education Funds. Wait, maybe I'm wrong. It's Title IV. I apologize, everybody. It's Title IV, Student Support and Academic Enrichment, and it's a newer federal fund with less regulation than the others. The amount of money we get is determined by the state and based on a percentage that must be given to each local district. This money is to be used to support students and to encourage academic enrichment opportunities with a maximum of 15% set aside for technology. The 23-24 allocation was $44,293. Funds are used to expand STEM offerings within the district. The next is IDEA Part B, Special Education Funds. This provides funding to local school districts to support the special education programs and those students identified with a disability. The money amount is calculated by looking at our percentage of students that qualify with a disability and what those disabilities are. The allocation for this year is $974,408.55. Those funds are specifically used to pay for salaries and benefits of our intervention specialists throughout the district and non-publics. The final one for me to share with you is our IDEA Part B. It's hard to say that quickly sometimes. That is our special education specifically focused on early childhood, so primarily our preschool. We provide funding to local school districts to support the special education program and those students identified with disabilities in the preschool ages 3 to 5. Our allocation for this year, 23-24, is $32,266.90. The available funds are used to pay the salaries and benefits of our paraprofessionals specifically working at the preschool. So in summary, that is the report. As I said, it will be posted on our website, and we do this annually as obligated. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And our final presentation this evening in the superintendent's report is going to come from the North Ridgeville Academic Center and from our principal, Shane Sullivan, who's going to tell us a little bit about some of the great things happening here at NRAC.
Thank you again. So I just want to point out how amazing it was to have staff members from NRAC represented tonight in our, our 4 students a month. I think that's just a testament to, the great staff that we have in the building, and the great students that we have in the building. So Sean, congratulations again. I've been in Sean's classroom a couple times too, and I can tell you, the wigs were, he was running around the classroom today. I didn't catch why, but I didn't ask because it's something educational. But thank you so much for giving me this time just to tell you a little bit about what's happening in the building, kind of where we've been, where we're going in the future. And I appreciate that our associate principals are here as well to represent our building. So I know this is really small, but you probably can't read it, and that's okay. We'll go through some of these building goals, but way back in the spring, I had some time to meet with staff members here in the building. I took a lot of time to meet with our associate principals, had a lot of great conversations, just talked about the building as a whole, where they felt they were at that moment in time, but really where we wanted to go and where we wanted to move as a building. And we established some goals just for our building and for ourselves to set some groundwork for what we want to do, in the coming years. And we really think that these goals were effective in allowing us to just a springboard of things that we can do. So I'll just highlight a few of those things today. Won't take too much. Our first goal was really geared around teacher-based teams. When we took a look at teacher-based teams, we had to look at the structures that were in place, at that moment in time in the building, and we sat down and said, what do we want to see our teacher-based teams doing? What do we want to see our building leadership teams, our team doing as well? And how can those two teams really work together to make sure that our building is running efficiently? So we started with that BLT process. As you can see, the BLT provides feedback to our teacher-based teams. We tried to hone in our BLT with taking a look at student data, taking a look at the information our teachers are talking about our students, and you can see their standards, student data, common assessments, intervention, all those things are pieces that our building leadership team has started to look at. Once our building leadership team meets, we look at some of that information from our teacher-based teams. We provide feedback back to those teams, just as a team of people on the outside giving some feedback to information to the teams. And I think at this point, that process has been really effective and really successful. Our department heads are also part of that process. I meet with them monthly. I give them the feedback and share with their teachers and try to make sure we get everybody involved in that feedback process. And again, teachers and administrators work collaboratively to identify the needs and areas of support for our teams. So getting that structure, that building leadership structure in place, I think has been really successful in streamlining a lot of the process that we didn't have before this year. And I think it's something that's going to continue to move forward for us. Our second goal was geared around PBIS practices. I know we hear a lot about PBIS, and more often than not, it ends up just being a conversation about a token economy or tickets and prizes. And unfortunately, that's what happens. However, we really took a strong look at our PBIS practices in the building and wanted to make sure that we had a good process in place moving into this year. We were fortunate, our PTO did a great job in giving us some funds to bring Jim Basketball Jones into our building, and all of our grade levels saw Jim, and if you haven't seen him, he's a fantastic presenter, totally engaging. Our students loved it, and we use that kind of our kickoff for this year, our unofficial kickoff. For PBIS. So really excited to have his message as the beginning point for us.
Go too far. Sorry.
That's all right. There you go. We're good. I think it'll.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. So in addition to that kickoff, we also took a look at what structures were in place with PBIS in our building. A couple of places, I'll just wing it from here.
Okay.
A couple of things that we looked at were our grade level teams and our building level team. We wanted to establish those two teams that look specifically at student behavior data. That was important to our associate principals with our 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, so they could have just sitting with teachers, talking about the students in the studios who may be presenting some behaviors that we need to address. As a building level team, we took a look at more kind of a bird's eye view of that data. And that's what this particular slide really represents. We're not getting into the nitty gritty right now with specific students. That's more the grade level teams. We took a look at more at the overall building level behavior data that we could address as a building team. Two important pieces that we've accomplished right now at this point are the tiered fidelity inventory and the self-assessment survey. And those are two pieces that the state requires from us to really set an action plan in place for our building around PBIS practices. So we've had a great turnout and great reception in those teams. Our associate principals have done a fantastic job working with their grade level teams and really beefing up some of those PBIS practices. I'm gonna make this work this time, Paul.
Here we go.
Okay, but this is the fun stuff. So the things that we typically hear about is that token economy. And we really took a look at what we were doing in our building to provide some incentive to students to, to praise their positive behaviors in the classroom and in the building. So our 3-4 side of the building, they've got a Ranger store going. They got a lot of cool prizes that the kids can purchase with their Ranger bucks. Our 5-8 students, and you can see them in the top right of that slide. There's some boxes they can put some prizes in. Principal for a day is a popular prize. I have to tell you, it's exhausting. There are a lot of things that students can't be with me, during the day. And I always feel bad. I was like, I need you to sit outside my office for this conversation. But I sit back and I ask them, are you bored yet? Are you bored yet? Oh no, I'm loving it. So hopefully we'll get some principals in the future, but it's been a really great opportunity for me to get to know some of the students. I'm happy that they want to spend time with them. That's a good thing. So we're excited that that's the direction we're going with PBIS. Our next goal is staff appreciation and celebration. That was something that we as an admin team sat down, we really wanted to look at how we can include our staff. More importantly, how we can get our 3-4 staff and our 5-8 staff get to know each other, because that building is huge. Our building is giant, and there's a big gap right in between. That's cafeteria. And that physical space really does separate us. So we took a lot of time as admin to think about what we need to do to bridge that gap. And as this slide says, it really starts with building our building culture. We've had an opportunity to complete a typology activity, and that's something we did through our district leadership team, where we look at the culture of the building, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow at our staff meeting and really dive into some of that data. But that's been a really great starting point for us. The fun stuff, though, is we've resurrected the Sunshine Committee, and Mr. Hepron is the leader of our Sunshine Committee, and he's the right guy for the job. He really, and you can see in that slide with the chicken suit, he takes it on. He's done a great job with creating a team that wants to get some activities going in our building, just to build the staff morale, build up some of the happiness and lots of sunshine. We're all about the sunshine in the building. So It's been a lot of fun to see his work with the Sunshine Committee and really see what the teachers are coming up with some of the fun things in the building. And finally, a big goal for us was communication. That's communication with our families and our parents, but also communication within the building with our staff. I put just these two pictures up here because S'more is a fantastic newsletter design program. And it's been really great to use, and I've started to enjoy looking at all the templates and the background pictures. But moreover, it really has provided an opportunity for our admin, our counselors, our teachers to provide me with information that needs to be shared out to all the staff. We get together weekly, we talk about the newsletter, we make sure all the information is correct, we send it out, and I think that's been pretty successful. We do have a lot of fun things going on in our newsletters. You can see there's Can You Spot the Song lyric? Right now it's Can You Spot the Elf? There's an elf hiding around NRAC right now, and staff members can find the elf, and they send me a picture. They're entered into a raffle for a prize. So a lot of fun with our communication, but it's also been really nice to be able to reach out to staff and community at the same time. But we're not there yet, and that's kind of been the theme for us. We're just not there yet. We really are building a great culture in the building. We're putting a lot of pieces of the puzzle together. After nearly 2 full quarters of the year under our belts, we are still working hard, and I see that every day in the building. We have great staff members who are doing the great work, in the classrooms, and we're going to continue with that. So, thank you for your time. And what questions do you have?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. That concludes.
All right, here's an opportunity for hearing of the public. If there's anybody in attendance this evening that would like to address the Board of Education, please approach the podium, state your name and address, and
my name's Mark Steinbruner. I live on 37400 Sugar Creek Lane in North Ridgeville. I've been a resident in North Ridgeville for almost 20 years. I currently have 1 daughter in high school, 3 daughters who have already graduated. Today, I want to advocate for future generations. The people I'd like to speak for are high school swimmers. As someone who's been on the board of Mills Creek swim team for 8 years, many of these kids I have known since they were very young. I watched our team grow from 15 swimmers from North Ridgeville to over 120. We laid the foundation for the high school team's success. I had the pleasure to watch these children fall in love with a very special sport, a sport that does not discriminate. Perhaps the most joy I have gotten over the years is watching children with significant disabilities participate and succeed. Over the years, I have seen children with physical and mental needs fall in love with this sport. Children who improved so much that their disabilities somehow disappeared when they were streaming through the water. The sport is one of the limited options these children can enjoy. The way they are accepted and helped by their peers and coaches could bring a tear to anyone's eye. Therefore, I have come take the time to speak to the board and administration on behalf of these children and these athletes of this wonderful sport. As one of the founding members of the high school swim team, I come here a bit concerned. About 8 years ago, our team had 1 swimmer. Bethany practiced with a club team and participated in meets under the North Ridgeville Rangers logo. Since swimming was not a sanctioned sport at the time, the district did not provide a pool, a suit, a coach, training, or even a teammate. Bethany swam for 3 years under these conditions. In 2016, a group of parents, including myself, organized a group to establish a swim team. Thanks to the 1 swimmer, we only needed 1 year to organize for this to be observed as a sanctioned sport. That year, we organized fundraisers, the rent lanes, buy suits, hire 2 coaches. The pool, we carpooled our swimmers to practices. The team had less than 10 swimmers that year, but they broke many school records and even sent a girls relay team to districts, which they have done every year since. Today, our team has grown to at least, last year was over 20 swimmers. Over half of the team made it to districts, either in a relay or an individual event. The team has accomplished so much despite many obstacles. Since many people in this room do not know these obstacles, I like to list them. These kids spend over an hour a day commuting back and forth to practice, Cuyahoga Heights. They do not have a pool to conduct their home meets. They do not have a student section or fans cheering for them except for a few family members. They do not have a site to hang senior banners or probably conduct a senior night. The result of these conditions some of these conditions have resulted in many swimmers quitting before their senior year. Many of these students have the potential to swim in college. Sadly, we will never know. The district has provided home facility for baseball, football, wrestling, volleyball, basketball, track, and soccer. I truly don't understand why this new high school could not have a pool. I understand the initial investment could be an issue. However, over the long term, I think a pool could be beneficial. Lorain County is in dire need of pools. There are currently 8 high school teams and 2 club teams that swim in our county. 10 teams competing for 3 pool locations. French Creek Y, I heard, only allows Avon teams to swim there. So that leaves 8 teams vying for pool time. Not only would the pool save the district thousands a month housing our own team, but it has potential to make another $4 to $6 grand per week by renting this pool to other teams. In addition, North Ridgeville could host individuals, championships, could bring in additional income to our local economy. This facility could be a place to offer swim lessons, water aerobics, and a place for other athletes to condition, as well as employment for our high school students as lifeguards, which many are. I'm just one voice tonight, but trust me, there are hundreds of people in this city that make up our swim family. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else this evening? Here's an opportunity for announcements. All right, so I have just a couple. First of all, Mr. Haynes, congratulations, sir. Mr. Haynes will be our newest board member starting in January. He's a little bit grayer than he was a couple weeks ago, waiting for the final results to come in. It was a pretty close race. Four votes, I believe, separated you and Mr. Gassman. So again, congratulations and welcome. I will not be here at the last meeting in December, so I want to thank you tonight, Joanna. You have been amazing. You have been an amazing part of our Board of Education. You've been dedicated. You're only interested in the kids. It's been an honor and a privilege to work alongside you. We rode the roller coaster ride of COVID and bond issues and levies and so many things over the years, and you're going to be missed. You've been such a valuable part of this team. You've supported the district. You've supported the administrative team. You supported the kids. I know you're looking at other opportunities now that your last one will be graduating and going off to school. So it'll be an opportunity for you to enjoy that part of your life with your children. But you will be missed. And thank you for everything that you've done. Sorry, I won't be here for your last meeting.
Oh, no, I get the gavel at the last
You get the
meeting.
gavel. And it's been an ongoing competition between me and Joanna as far as who motions, and you can have them all tonight.
Thank you.
Well, if the rest of the board
I don't know.
will agree to.
That has been a fun thing that we've done quietly. Not so quietly. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
I just want to point out, though, that Joanna is continuing with us as our representative for JVS for the remainder of her term for that board position. So we do appreciate you continuing on in that role for us. So thank you.
Thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Of course.
All right. Well, education report, Mr. Mira.
All right. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the 2024-2025 school calendar. This is the first reading for this item, and our second reading and consideration for approval will be following a presentation at the December 18th regular meeting.
Thank you.
Policy Committee report, Ms. McCarthy.
Thank you. So we have the first reading of a new and revised set of policies hosted by Neola. The committee has reviewed and made edits to the policies listed below. The second reading and consideration for approval will be at our December 18th regular meeting. But I would like to point out that our committee could not do this without the direction and leadership of Mr. Pritt and the rest of the administrators, staff members who review these policies as they relate to their area of expertise, so that our committee can get through these in a productive and seamless way. So Mr. Pritt, thank you. It's not, and I can't see you again. I can never see you over the podium. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who reviews these policies that come to your desk through Mr. Pritt, because it is important that we as board members know that these policies are written in a way that we can support them in the district, and that they're actually policies that are what we're doing and not what we think or say that we should be doing, but actually things that we are able and capable of doing. So again, my appreciation. Board members, good luck reading all those. No, they're actually very, very streamlined. Mr. Pritt does a great job of that, telling us what's new, what's been deleted, and if you have any questions, ask David.
Thank you. Communications report, Mr. Grigsby.
Thank you, sir. It is recommended that the Board of Education accept the following gifts with appreciation. A monetary donation of $1,101.92 was donated by the North Ridgeville Drama Club parents to the North Ridgeville High School Drama Club. Rental furniture for the Drama Club production, The Odd Couple, was donated by Eagle Rental Purchase to the NRHS Drama Club. A new paper cutter was donated by Alan Sorek Jr. to the Early Childhood Learning Community. And a donation of $625 was donated by North Ridgeville Athletic Boosters to purchase 20 basketball practice jerseys for the NRHS basketball team. A donation of $1,095.15 was donated by North Ridgeville Choir Bake Sale to the North Ridgeville High School School Choir. And miscellaneous items that include a voice speaker, drum set, coolers, and the repair of music instruments was donated by the North Ridgeville Band Boosters to the NRHS Band Program. We thank our community for the tremendous support of our schools and students.
Buildings and operation report. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the ranking and selection of Then Design Architecture, TDA, as a firm to provide comprehensive design services for the upcoming district construction project, and authorize the superintendent to enter into a contract negotiations with the TDA. This is the first reading for this item. The second reading and consideration for approval will be December 18th regular meeting. Human Resources report, Ms. Saxon.
Yes, we have a number of items in the Human Resources report. One certified staff adjustment, one certified staff leave of absence, one supervisor leave of absence, two support staff leaves of absence. This is the first reading for these items. The second reading and consideration for approval will be at the December 18th regular meeting. This concludes the Human Resource report.
Thank you, Ms. Saxon. Finance audit report, Ms. McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. Vaca. We have one item under the finance audit report, which is kind of exciting this evening. We have a resolution for the issuance of bond anticipation notes, also called BANs. The resolution authorizes the issuance of notes and sets forth the parameters within which the notes are to be issued. I am going to move to approve this finance item in one reading so that we can move ahead with this as quickly as possible. It's like 100 pages long, the actual resolution. I am not going to read it, no. We would be here until January, and that would defeat the purpose.
Is there any discussion? Roll call.
I'm sorry, Mr. Presiding, did you want to say anything about these?
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Mrs. McCarthy?
Yes.
Mrs. Tamira?
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby?
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca?
Yes. Education, Mira?
It is recommended that the Board of Education approve a supervised overnight field trip for the North Ridgeville High School cheerleading team. They're going to travel to Wittenberg University in Springfield, Ohio for OHSAA Spirit State Championships. This trip is set for December 9th, 2023 through December 10th, 2023. I move to approve the education item in one reading.
Second?
Moved by Mr. Tamira, second by Ms. McCarthy. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Tamira?
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby?
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca?
Yes. Human Resources Report, Ms. Saxon?
Yes, we have a few items to consider under the Human Resources Report. One certified staff leave replacement contract, one certified substitute contract, two support staff appointments, one NREA supplemental contract, one support staff substitute contract, one support staff adjustment, one certified staff resignation, one supplemental contract resignation. I move to approve the Human Resources Report in one reading.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Saxon, second by Ms. Tamira.
We were all waiting for you.
I know.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Saxon?
Yes.
Mrs. Tamira?
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby?
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca?
Yes. It is recommended that the Board of Education enter into executive session to discuss the employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, compensation of public employees and matters related to negotiations of public awards. There will be no action to follow.
Moved.
Second?
Moved by Ms. Tamira, second by Ms. Saxon. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Tamira?
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon?
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby?
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca?
Yes.
6:57.